Greetings and salutations. Getting ready to run the dungeon, the vault, the wolf den. Let's see what this thing's called again. Den of the Wolfman. Den of the Wolfman. Getting ready. I got my Asir Berserker. I gotta Google that and see what it means, what the origin of the word. I've kind of done this hodgepodge of armor on him to where it's half frost giant, grab, was it grab or garb, grab. It's kind of an interesting recipe setup. But I've get him loaded down with gruel. But and then I have the executioner hood on him, so I've been trying to kind of max out that vitality strength that I have on him. And so instead of wearing the skirt, he's wearing some pants. And I had to go through there and do a little dye management to try to get it to match up a little, the fur to match up. It doesn't match up exactly. There's like different shaders on the Sumerian steel pants, but kind of wish they had some advanced armor kits like they have. They just says armor kits that are made with the hardened leather. I wish they had some advanced hardened armor kits that maybe had some were part of the drops. I think I vaguely remember. Uh, Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of advanced repair kits, but um, yeah. The I really like how this is lit up in this blue writing. You know, like the power is surging through the vault. I really like that. I wish they did have a like a tumbler on there that you could put in a combination, and it would change the loadout of the dungeon. It would kind of change the difficulty and maybe some of the spawns, and so I mean they would all fit within a family. You know, they'd all be Wolfmen related, but you would get some couple of humanoids that haven't transferred over yet, and you would get some. Oh, here's I wanted to capture this. See how he was in the ground and then he popped up. So that creates a situation for me, and I'll show you here. See if I can replicate it again. It's like there. Oh wow, he's doing the Iron Man. I don't know if that's latency or I don't know what that is. Oh, I got some weird latency going on. Okay, and let's let the dungeons sync. Make sure somebody doesn't roll up behind me. It's PvP hours. Players list. I do like how they've hidden the names in the PvP. I do like that a lot. Um, Normally they're in the see how they're in the ground. So what happens is the AI won't attack. I'll tell him to. It says follower can't move there, so he's out of the ground. Normally he's in the ground. I should change his name to like Bob the Berserker. Come on, go get him. I do like the new AI. I have noticed though that there are some issues with weapons. If I try to put a shield or maybe one of the two-handed axes, the issue that I run into with them is they'll just do a series of light attacks. They don't run through the full combo. See now I'm telling him to attack. He's Oh, he is going to attack. Normally he they see there we go. See I'm telling him to attack, and because there we go. See how it popped up. And yeah, the difficulty on this dungeon is doesn't scale well as you there needs to be some scaling. That's why I was talking about that tumbler on the beginning. I wish I could feed this thing some elderidium, and the more elderidium I fed this, it would uh, it would make the dungeon harder, kind of scale the dungeon up. Because, and I know Funcom's like, oh, it's gonna be OP. You're OP. We have to nerf everything. No, man, this is 200 or 300 hours of grinding to get to high end gear, and when I go back to run the content, it's just it doesn't scale well, and so and I to keep some of these dungeons relevant, they need to scale. I know I've said that like 3 times now. I'm a broken choo choo train. There we go. I just woke up and I'm eating chocolate chip cookies. It's diet of champions. Okay. Well, I ran through here last night, and he wasn't doing that much damage. He wasn't doing. I put 5 or 6 levels on him, and it really They amped up nicely. I do like the javelin. I think they did a good job kind of recalibrating it because it used to be the kind of the one trick wonder where it was all you needed. But now I like how it kind of it stun locks, it breaks them out of animations. It doesn't do it to everybody. He just hits like a fucking truck. This is nice. Took me a lot though. It took me 2 weeks of harvesting mats to get him. It did. It took me a long time. I think that's one of the baby ones. Yeah, there was. I gave my buddy the warrior, and I was just like, I want the berserker. I was hoping I was getting a female with Tigo bitties, but um, this didn't. See, he's wigging out. He's doing the Michael Jackson. He's like, ooh hoo. Yeah, my berserker's like, I ain't having none of that. I having none of that. That's so 1992. This is 2008. Okay, let's kill this guy. I probably should roll with some daggers. I like to run a medium set for the higher grit, so I have more running around and more stabbing and more jumping and so I like to roll a grit set. And I normally run just star metal stuff, and that's kind of why I like the DLC combos, the packages, because with the DLC packages, it allows me to have some flavor. Like he scratched his butt. He's like, dingleberries are real. He's like, hey Bob, there you go. I would like to see some new voiceovers too. I'd like to see some more, maybe some Gaelic, on some of these races where they talk about. He's like, "Don't make me hurt you, Wander." I'd like to see, something that said like, "Don't make me hurt you." Very very accent driven, kind of break up the factions or the races. The Hyborian and the Sumerian kind of add some thick Scottish or German accent in there, and then instead of all having perfect English, or even maybe even scream some non-English too. That'd be cool. Some Latin or some Gaelic, some old dead language. And you're like, what the, but the subtitles are in English. That would be awesome. That would be. He just laugh when he starts screaming some random shit. There we go. There we go. Bob, get over here, Bob. I need your help. He's actually running really good. Sometimes the AI is not with a little bit of latency. Sometimes the AI falls apart, but he's actually I think putting pants on him did the trick. He wasn't acting the way he was supposed to without any pants. I feel like I'm spinning around over here. Get him. There you go. Yeah, these guys don't stun lock. With some of the goblins, I can stun lock them, I think. Okay. Partly the reason I'm recording this is I want to capture if I get jacked on the in-game chest again. I'm trying to kind of problem solve the. So I think that's two different wolves there. I think that's the big wolf brother. I think is kind of like the harder version, but there's not enough distinguishing features to really except for the size. It should have like a different color pelt, or because you just can't tell. Maybe they're the same. No, maybe put one, make some of them have one skulls. Right? There's not. I don't think there's any in here that have skulls. But there needs to be some variety in these monsters, especially in these wolf dens, because they literally look like they're just cloned. And then here, hold on, let me. Yep, one more. I'm trying to level up. Okay, 1 second. I gotta pause this. I'm back. I had to get another cookie. Yeah, Bob, get to work. Um, what we got here? Let me see what this guy's got. Oh, and I woke up today with a headache, and I think it's gonna rain. I think it's gonna rain because usually when it rains, I get that barometric pressure change, and I always have a headache. this real cranial, front lobe cranial pressure that it's like, man, I walk down. I'm trying to walk more, trying to get my 10,000 steps a day instead of just vegging out on Conan or 7 Days to Die or Imperium. I really like, I used to be big into the MMOs. Like man, I don't even remember what they are anymore. I mean, I've played them all, but like probably got 200 or 300 days of playtime in WoW, which is like nearly 10 years of experience on that. And the one thing about WoW is they didn't do a good job scaling as the technology advanced. I mean, they did do some high textures 10 years later. Well, I'd say moderate resolution textures, and they did kind of gradually add more mechanics, but it was so it was so kind of like, it took, they're pulling in millions of dollars a year and profits and revenue, and they didn't utilize that money well. It just fed it to employees and CEOs and other aspects, and then they end up getting purchased by Activision, and it just turned into a mess. And it's important to just keep pushing forward on that creativity project, and hiring new interns and outsourcing, and not lock into that bubble, that echo chamber. Too many places they get locked into that echo chamber. And so I stopped playing WoW. I got about 10 years into it off and on, and I just came to the point to where I realized that it's kind of diminishing returns. It's everything you can do in WoW, you can do in this game. You have larger raids. I mean, that's kind of what the Maelstrom is in a way. You have the crafting, the survival. You have the kinetic combat instead of that tab target shit. That tab target shit is so dated. Oh, your follower leveled up. I do like his voice dialogue as far as what he says. I would like to have some conversations though, like where he does a little shit talking. He's like, "Did you shower today? I feel like you didn't shower today." And just throw in some random more text dialogue, a little bit more interactive. I realize that stuff costs money, but some of that back end refinement or that back end polishing on character development, character AI. I was watching some Star Citizen stuff. Okay, close the loop on what I was saying. And so after years and years of MMOs, um, I realize that the world is very sterile because that they have to structure it in such a way to where they can support 2 or 3 thousand people. I mean, I used to play EverQuest and EverQuest 2, and man, I have to go through there and look through my Steam account and some of that stuff because I don't remember half of them. But lots and lots of time early on, um, experimenting with these different systems, and it's AI is so critical. Good AI and monster development is so critical. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think there's a chest back here. It's one of these that has a chest. If I ever, yeah, there we go. Okay, got 6. That's pretty good. And then I have gotten to where I've segued away from and the um, the crafting, and I've kind of focused more on just the dungeon grinding. So I do like the 14 dungeons. I really do. And even though they all kind of generally have the same appearance, I do like their different monsters, and they do have some different traps and parkour and kind of some platform design. I just think there's a little bit more polishing that needs to be dialed in to them. Yeah, these guys need armor. If they're guards, they need to have some armor, right? These are his two boys. They're protecting him. They need to have some like he's got armor. They need to have kind of armor that matches his armor, and maybe one have a spear and one have a shield or something, because I mean, if they have the technology to wear armor, they can have the technology to have weapons, and that would change up the fight a little bit. So he's got skulls. They should have one skulls. These guys should have one skulls, and they just to kind of mix up the variety type, and they should give a little bit of loot too, just a little bit, maybe like one or two Imperium, and then I'd actually like to see some dialogue too, like, "Hey, you smell something? Yeah, I smell something. What? Smells like fat, fat, greasy pig." Something a little bit more immersive. So I ran through this whole dungeon, and I want to see if the seal has a light on it, because I remember seeing this seal right here have a light. One of my buddies suggested if I came into the room and I waited a few seconds, that it would load the chest. And he thinks the logic is that when you just run in and you loot the chest really quick, what happens is you don't give the chest time to load from the database. And so it's like voodoo now, right? It's become voodoo at this point, and we're trying to figure out how to not get, because I've probably been jacked now out of I don't know, 7 of these. Let's see. Okay, I let it come in. All right, I let it come in. 44. Okay, let me see if I need to use this. I think today's goal is to, man, I don't know what to do with these. I know you grind them up and you make meal and all that stuff, but take all. But the issue that I'm kind of running into is the farming system needs a complete rework. If they just added to where you got a couple seeds, I would do the farming system, And if I like how the food gives buffs. Let me do this. I really like how the food open inventory. I want to offload some of this weight. There we go. And then I'm gonna go hit another one real quick. I'm gonna save this video. All right. Thank you for watching.